This is a video to explain the reed bed mapping activity. There's a couple of things you need to do before we begin. The first one is to make sure you have paint.net downloaded on your computer. If you haven't done this already, go to Google, type in paint.net program, and it should just be the first website that comes up. You can download paint.net from here. Okay, the next thing that you need to do is download the grid. You do this through the My Documents on the intranet. So go to the Erbray intranet, go down to My Documents, go into the Resources folder, and all the documents you need are in this 1.aa reed bed mapping. So you go into there. Now the first thing you will see is each of the Year 8 teachers' names. When you are finding your photos to map, they will be in your teachers folder. So if it's my class, we'd go into h.pheno, and then when it's your turn, there will be a folder that's been created with the date that you are doing the reed bed mapping, and all the photos that you need will be in there. The grid that you need is this file here. So you double click on that and say download, open it up, and then you need to save it somewhere. So you just go File, Save As, and you need to save it somewhere on your desktop that you know where it is. So that's up to you. Once you've done that, we're ready to begin. Like I said, the pictures that you will use will be in your teacher's folder. I'm just going to use the ones in Test for today. You'll see in your teacher's folder there will be 6 photos. They're all the photos that you need to map. Okay, I'm just going to show you by mapping this one. So again, double click, you go download, it'll come down in the download tab, open it up, you see the photo, and then you want to open with paint.net. Okay, for this activity to work, we need to first map the area of the reed beds and the water. So to make that a little bit easier, the first thing we need to do is overlay the grid. So you go to Layers and you go to Import from File. Now your grid will be wherever you have saved it. You won't be able to see these folders when you open. You double click on the grid and then you'll see it come in the top left hand corner. Now you need to drag this grid so that it covers the whole picture. So to do that, you just hold the bottom right hand corner and drag it out. You want to try and be as accurate as possible of taking up the whole picture with your grid. That'll just give us a more accurate data. So like I said, the first thing we need to do is find the area of the reed beds and all the water. So to do that, you need to get your paintbrush, which is in this toolbar on the left hand side. You want to make sure the brush width is about 15 so you can see it. Change the color so that you can see it. Red's a good color. And just make an outline of the water and the reeds. Try and be as accurate as possible, although it is a little bit difficult with the trees in the way. But we'll say probably all this behind here is still water. And then we've got water here. And we've got reed beds here. and water. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is count all of these squares. That'll give us the total area of the reeds and water. So change your colour again so that you've got a different counting colour and just start. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 whole squares. Actually, we'll go to 15 because then we'll be able to count up a bit. So we've got 15 from this one. And then we can go up to this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that'll give us this whole area. So 15 times 5 is 75. So that's 75 squares there. All right. Just make sure you know where you've gone up to. Alright, so now we have to do the other squares around that area. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so that's another 125. So we've got 75 plus 125. That's 200 squares. Now, where there's not a whole square, make sure you've combined it with another half a square so that we've got, that's about 1 square. Okay, so you might have seen when I was doing my dots, I didn't count every little half. That's because I'd added it to another half square. So then where your table is, you want to put the total area as 200. Okay, now we just want to find the area of the reed beds. So get your red paintbrush again and see if you can go around the bottom of the reed beds so that you have the top where you've drawn there and you've got a bottom part. So it's hard to see behind the tree. So we might just put them off here because we're not sure what's behind there. And then you've also got another little lot of reed beds here. Okay, so these are the areas of the reed beds. So we need to count how many squares are there. Again, the first thing we should do is count the whole squares. Change your color again and see if you can just get rid of the whole squares. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 13, 14. So that's 14 whole squares. Or 15, that one's pretty much whole square. And then we need to, 16. And then we need to do the half squares. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty much whole square. That's pretty much whole square. That's pretty much whole square. And then we've got these ones that are almost whole squares. So this one and this one can probably be 1. So you just cross out that one. And then this one and that one can probably be 1. So just cross out that one. Alright, so we've got holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And then we've got 22, 23 and a half. So you want to put your reed area as 23 and a half. Now to find the percentage, you do the reed squares divided by the total squares times by 100. So we want to do 23 and a half divided by 200 times by 100. So that's 11.75. We only really want to do them in half percentages. So we might make that 11.5%. So in this photo, looking at the reeds and the water, the reeds take up 11.5% of the water, of the total water area. So you need to repeat this activity for each of the 6 photos. You might want to go with a partner and you to do 3 and your partner to do 3 so that we can get them all done within the lesson. Once we get back to class, we'll find the class average. And that is how you map the reed beds.